So you want to buy a Pilatus PC-12. Who wouldn't? Good grief, what an airplane. Look at that thing. I'm not the type of person to throw around the word majestic, but come on. PC-12 is pretty well the end of the line for civilian single-engine airplanes. It's the most airplane you're going to get with one engine, arguably. So let's argue it. Pilatus calls the PC-12 the most versatile single in the world. Well, what other contenders do we have? TBM-like airplanes. So that's the TBM, Epic, Lancer Evolution, and maybe a couple of others. Very fast, smaller. Then there's the Caravan type airplanes. So Caravan and Kodiak. TBM types are people movers. No pallets or fuel drums or hitching a ride in a TBM. Essentially, it's a 6-seat Corvette. There's no denying though that it is fast. Or is there? Long-range cruise on the latest TBM 960 is a paltry 250 knots. That'll give you 1700 nautical miles. PC-12 will do 1700 nautical miles at 225 knots. So you're saving 42 minutes on a 6-hour flight. Yes, TBM will scream along at shorter distances, but going 330 knots instead of 270 knots over a short distance will still save you just minutes and not hours. So yes, faster, but not as versatile. TBM does cost less and burns less fuel, which makes sense. But what about the Caravan types? No surprise, PC-12 is way faster, like 100 knots faster. Even still, saving only minutes over short distances. The real-time saving comes from not stopping for gas. PC-12 range is 2 times the Caravan. However, did you know that the Grand Caravan carries 1,000 pounds more payload than a PC-12? And the cabin's a little larger. PC-12 is still a larger airplane on the outside. So Grand Caravan carries quite a bit more than a PC-12, but the PC-12 is faster and pressurized and with much better range. So it's kind of a toss-up. Both land short, on grass, dirt, so on. But avast! She floats. Landing anywhere that's wet is pretty gosh darn versatile in my opinion. PC-12 is an outstanding airplane that I've been a big fan of for a long time. But the most versatile single ever? We'll say inconclusive. Soon we'll have a direct competitor to the PC-12 when Textron releases the Denali. So far it looks essentially the same as a PC-12, except that the Denali can't quite reach its straw. Do you see it? One thing is for sure, they are expensive. There are a handful of versions of PC-12 since its release in 1994, but the performance and cost to operate is pretty similar across the board. The differences are mostly in the systems, the avionics, interior fittings, and purchase price. Earliest PC-12s will go for between $1 and $2 million. A brand spanker will go between 4 and 5. So let's break it down. Remember, like every video on this channel, this is the cost to buy it and fly it. We don't account for things like catering and management. We don't hire crews. We fly our own damn planes, thank you very much. But boy, it is still expensive even without that stuff. Bigger airplanes are just more expensive. There's more of everything. Everything needs to be longer, more sturdy, more reinforcements to handle the extra weight and the leverage. The PC-12 is a big plane and heavy. Certainly not the heaviest single-engine airplane ever though. That title belongs to the F-35 Lightning II, which weighs a hilarious 35 tons. That's the same as 7 fully loaded PC-12s. A lot more expensive too. PC-12 is a slam dunk of an airplane design. People love it, and for good reason. It's a perfect choice for all sorts of missions. I guess it's no surprise that a Swiss company created the Swiss Army knife of airplanes. Whether or not it's the most versatile single ever doesn't really matter. It's a great airplane that's good enough for Textron to develop a near exact copy of. Shame it doesn't float though. That's the PC-12. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next.